Wanna play?
Here's Johnny!
I need a bigger boat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wanna Play. My name is James McKenna, and today we're going to be ranking another franchise. This time around, we're going to be ranking Tremors. Tremors is just one of my favorite franchises now. Every single movie has something to offer. There's barely anything that I don't like about this series. It's so consistent, and I honestly don't think that there is a bad movie. Like, I can say that about franchises like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for example. It's pretty consistent, but, I mean, part 3 and 4 are there. In Tremors, there's literally not one movie that is like the seed of Chucky of the series. Every movie has something to offer, every movie does something new, something different, and every movie is just a blast. Cinema is supposed to be for fun. You're supposed to go to cinema and movies to have fun, and Tremors is the ultimate freaking example of that. This franchise is awesome, and today, I'm here to rank every movie for you. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So coming in last place, in my opinion, is Tremors 3. Now, Tremors 3 is the only one that I actually do have some problems with, but first, I'll start with the positives. I like Melvin coming back. He was fun. Obviously, Burt Gummer was fantastic in this film, and going back to perfection, as the subtitle suggests, was a pretty cool thing for the series. But where this movie starts to fault is basically the rest of the characters. The acting was not very good in this film, and also, personally, I'm just not a fan of the Shriekers and the Ass Blasters, and they were first introduced in this film. I think the Shriekers get better as the series go on, but just, in this film, they're like really bad CGI. Like, the CGI in this movie is kind of what tanks it for me, what really puts it in last place, because other than that, this movie's okay, but yeah, for me, Tremors 3 Back to Perfection is in last place. Coming in at number 6 is Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Tremors Bloodlines is a pretty good movie, but in my opinion, it just has some stuff that takes me out of it. First off, though, this is Jamie Kennedy's first time in the series, and his character is awesome. Burt Gummer's son, that's a pretty cool character, and he would reprise his role in part 6, A Cold Day in Hell. His character is great, and I also really like the Africa setting. It provided something new without being completely different, but where it falls off the rails a little bit is the low budget of the film. Like, some of the GoPro shots as they were going through Africa and stuff were a little bit much sometimes, and also, the scene where Burt Gummer was being pissed on by a tiger was just like, what are we... Why do we need this in the Tremors? It's a really stupid scene, I thought. And because of that, basically that scene and just some little nitpicks I have, like the weird, like, low budget and how it shows, is why it comes in at number 6. And at number 5 is Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. This movie is a good movie, but it's just a little bit forgettable. I don't know what it was, it might have just been me, but the audio of the film was a little bit off. Like, it sounded like they didn't give anybody microphones, which was a little bit weird. But for a prequel, I thought this did really, really good. I like the Burt Gummer ancestor character. He was pretty fun. And also, for a prequel, they didn't really answer too many questions that we weren't asking, so it did pretty good in that regard. But it's just a little bit forgettable. I do like the setting of perfection, like way freaking back in like the 1700s or something. and they had the town named Rejection, and then after they fought the Graboids, they renamed it Perfection. I thought that was a pretty nice touch. Overall, once again, like Tremors 5, it's a good movie, but it's not my favorite, and it comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Tremors 6, A Cold Day in Hell. This is where we start to get into the really, really good Tremors movies. First of all, the new Antarctic setting is a really cool setting. It's something completely different and brand new than every other entry in the series. There's some freaking water graboids in here, and also the ass blasters weren't actually really that annoying and dumb in this movie. They were pretty cool. They actually provided a good threat for the characters, and speaking of the characters, they were all really, really good. Jamie Kennedy comes back once again. His character is great. Burt Gummer, as always, is freaking awesome. And also having Val and Rhonda, the characters from the first one, having their daughter in this movie, I thought was a pretty nice touch. And also, I just like how this movie ties in and references all of the other Tremors movies, and really just tells you that, yeah, this is still the same series as the first one. Every movie has like a nice continuity. It's like the Child's Play series in that regard. Coming in at number 4 is Tremors 6, A Cold Day in Hell. Coming in at number 3 is the most recent entry into the series, that is Tremors 7, Shrieker Island. This movie was fantastic. John Heater's in this movie. Freaking Napoleon Dynamite is in this movie. He kind of replaces Jamie Kennedy as Burt Gummer's little sidekick, which, I mean, I would rather have had Jamie Kennedy in this movie, and their explanation for why he wasn't in it was a little weird. Like, what, he got arrested in a Mexican jail or something? But I thought that there were some awesome, awesome scenes. The Shrieker massacre scene was freaking fantastic. I love Burt Gummer with the flamethrower instead of one of his guns, because a flamethrower is just one of the coolest weapons out there. But, of course, where this movie really gets elevated to the next level is the end of the film. Burt Gummer, and I'm gonna spoil it here if you haven't seen it, but Burt Gummer's death scene was done in such a good freaking way. Him pushing Napoleon Dynamite out of the way of this giant freaking graboid. Like, this graboid, let me tell you, was freaking huge. Like, it was the biggest graboid in the series. Graboid jumps up, you get that slow motion. Burt Gummer jumps, he gives him the middle finger, and then he eats them, and then they fall off the cliff just like in the first one. It's just done in such a great way, especially when the music started playing and you really thought that Burt Gummer's hand was about to come up over the cliff or something, but it never did. And then, of course, in the credits, it's just like a montage of all of Burt Gummer's best moments in the series. It was really sad, like, it actually got to me. This is a great freaking movie. It's one of the best horror sequels out there, and it comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Tremors II. This is like top 5 best horror sequels of all time. It's just the perfect example of how you do a sequel. It took everything that was amazing from the original Tremors and just boosted it up on another level. This movie was freaking awesome. It brought back Earl from the first one, who's just one of the best characters, like, ever. Him and Val are just freaking awesome, and having Earl come back in the second one and fighting some more graboids, even though he doesn't want to, was awesome. This movie does fault a little bit, though. I feel like the fact that they're just going around in like a montage, blowing up all these freaking graboids everywhere like it's nothing, whereas the first one, they were having struggles with only 4. I feel like it was a little bit much, and also Burt Gummer really didn't have that much to do in this film, but just as a sequel, as they describe basically in Scream, everything's bigger and better. This just excels in that. This movie is so good. It's another one that's just graboids, because I'm not really a fan of the, as I said, shriekers and ass blasters. The graboids, in my opinion, are where it's at, and this is strictly focused on hunting down and blowing these graboids to smithereens. This film is so awesome. It's one of my favorite sequels ever, and it comes in at number 2. But coming in at number 1 is the original Tremors. I love this film. It is so freaking good. Every single character in this small town of perfection, population 14, has something to offer. They all stand out. They're all freaking amazing. And the Graboid as a villain is so awesome. He's one of the best villains out there in films. Like, I love how this story progresses, and as it goes on, the Graboids get smarter and smarter and smarter. Every character is so awesome, whether it be Val and Earl being just the best duo in any movie ever, Rhonda being a really cool and capable final girl for the film to have, and everybody just having their own little things. Like, there wasn't too many deaths in the film, which shows you that all the characters were just that good, that they didn't deserve to die. They weren't like dumb characters. They always had a plan to fight these Graboids. This film is just so good. It's such a classic film. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. It's Tremors, and it comes in at number 1. Thanks for watching my ranking on the Tremors franchise. Now, I'm not the one really you should go to if you want to talk about this series, so I'm not really going to plug my Instagram for this video. If you want to talk to somebody about Tremors, you should go talk to Mike from This Is My Design. His Instagram is at thisismydesignhc. So, you should go talk to him if you want to talk about the Tremors franchise. But I seriously love this series. I've only seen every movie one time, but I would go back and rewatch all of these movies without hesitation. Like, this is such a good franchise. It's just one of my favorites. I love how it all just goes in one continuous order up until the end, and the last movie wraps everything up in just such a nice, neat little bow. This franchise is so good. It's one of, if not the best horror franchise out there. So thank you for watching this video. Tell me in the comments what you think about this video and what you think about the Tremors series. And you can also subscribe to this channel if you would like to. You don't have to though. But thank you for watching. Goodbye and good night. Bang!
It was an Alaskan bullworm!